Sometimes it only takes a quiet morning at Heartland to remind us why we fell in love with this place in the first place. The sun rising over the golden fields, the sound of horses breathing in the cool air, and the soft crunch of gravel beneath the worn pair of boots. It's a picture of peace. But in this calm, something is changing. The stillness before the storm has returned, and episode 5 is about to stir emotions that run deeper than ever before. For years, the Heartland Ranch has been more than just a home. It's been a heartbeat. Every sunrise holds a new challenge. Every sunset carries a story. And the family that holds it all together faces battles most people never see. After all these seasons, we've seen love, heartbreak, loss, and healing. But nothing has prepared the family for what's coming next. The world around them is shifting, and so are they. There's a feeling in the air, something uncertain, something that can't be ignored. Amy Fleming stands at the center of it all. The girl who once doubted herself has grown into a woman who heals others. But this time, it's her faith that's being tested. The new horse she's working with isn't just wild, it's broken. The way it flinches, the way its eyes tell stories of fear and fight mirrors something Amy hasn't faced in years. The part of herself that still aches from everything she's lost. Her bond with horses has always been her gift. Her way of seeing what others can't. But this time, as she reaches out, it feels like the horse is reaching back, asking her to find a strength she thought she had already spent. Meanwhile, the ranch itself seems quieter, but only on the surface. Jack, the steady soul of Heartland, knows when the wind carries weight. He feels the silence that doesn't belong. He's seen storms like this before, not the kind that sweep through the sky, but the kind that move through people. He watches Amy, watches Lou, and knows something's brewing. For him, every glance, every quiet pause at the dinner table says more than words ever could. He's been through too much not to notice when the family starts to drift, even slightly apart. Lou, always torn between being a leader and being a sister, feels a pull more than ever. Her mayoral duties have never been easy, but lately the pressure has taken a toll. The decisions she makes in the town echo back to her home, and she's realizing that sometimes being in charge means losing touch with the people you love the most. The town expects her to be strong, confident, unshaken. But how do you stay unshaken when your family's foundation starts to crack? Lou's heart is heavy, caught between duty and belonging, and it's only a matter of time before she has to face the cost of both. And somewhere in the distance, a truck approaches the ranch road. The dust rises behind it like a warning. The engine fades into the hum of the wind, but it brings something unexpected, someone who hasn't been here in years. The stranger's arrival will open doors that have been locked too long, and not everyone at Heartland is ready for what's about to be revealed. The air feels different now. The light has changed. Even the horses seem to sense it, the quiet tension that comes before a secret is spoken, before a truth finally steps out of the shadows. Episode 5 doesn't just promise drama. It promises a reckoning. The kind that doesn't break you all at once, but piece by piece. Until you have no choice but to face who you really are. As the camera fades to the distant silhouette of the ranch under the orange sky, one thing becomes clear. Heartland has always been about more than love or family. It's about finding your way back to the land, to each other, and to yourself. And this time, that journey might cost more than anyone ever expected. The story of Heartland isn't just told through words. It's written in every sunrise. Every hoofprint in the dirt, every quiet glance shared across the ranch. As we look back on the road that brought us here, we remember the moments that made us hold our breath, that made us cry, that reminded us why family isn't just who you're born to, but who you fight to keep. The first 4 episodes of this season have already pulled us through the highs and lows of life in the foothills, and each one has left its mark. Amy's heart, though strong, still carries the shadows of the past. We've seen her try to rebuild not just her connection with horses, but with herself. Every horse she's trained this season hasn't only tested her skill, but mirrored her emotions. The quiet mare in episode 2, the stubborn stallion in episode 3, they all reflected the same truth she's been running from. that healing isn't a destination. It's a choice you make every single day. And now, as she faces the new challenge that episode 5 brings, it's clear that this time, it's not about saving a horse. It's about saving her spirit. Lou's world has been spinning faster than she can hold it together. As the mayor, she's had to make hard calls that ripple far beyond the town hall. We saw her stand strong in the face of criticism, choosing what's right over what's easy. But in the quiet moments, when the meetings are over and the house lights are dim, doubt creeps in. She wonders if she's doing the right thing, if her choices have cost her the warmth that used to fill her home. In one powerful scene, Lou stares out the window as rain falls on the ranch, her reflection blending with the storm outside. It's the perfect image of her season so far, composed on the outside. But struggling to hold back the flood within Dot and Jack, the heart of the Heartland family, has carried the weight of it all with the same steady strength that's kept everyone grounded for years. He's the silent protector, the bridge between generations, the man who listens more than he speaks. But even Jack isn't untouched by time. This season has tested his patience, his faith, and his sense of belonging. There was a moment in episode 4, a simple one, where he sat by the fire alone, looking at an old photo of Marion. That moment said everything. Beneath his wisdom lies a loneliness that no amount of hard work or advice can hide. It's a reminder that even the strongest hearts can grow weary. And then there's Tim, whose fire never seems to dim, but maybe that's the problem. His temper, his pride, his stubborn love for the people around him often burns too hot. We've seen him clash with Amy, butt heads with Jack, and struggle to connect with his daughters. But there's something deeper in his anger this season. Guilt, a feeling he can't quite shake. It's as though every argument, every harsh word, is his way of trying to outrun what's haunting him. And soon we'll find out what that really is. Through it all, Heartland continues to remind us that life doesn't pause for anyone. The ranch still breathes, the horses still run, and the seasons still change, whether the people are ready or not. The challenges that began in the earlier episodes weren't meant to break them. They were meant to prepare them for what's next. And what's next feels bigger, heavier, and more personal than anything before. Because in episode 5, everything they've been avoiding, the secrets, the pain, the unspoken words, will finally come to the surface. The past that each of them has tried to bury is no longer staying quiet. The arrival of the stranger at the end of episode 4 was only the beginning. He's not just bringing memories. He's bringing consequences. The land itself feels tense, like it knows a storm is coming. The wines carry whispers of what's been left unsaid, the kind that makes even the horses uneasy. It's in the way Amy pauses before opening the barn door, in the way Liz checks her phone with trembling hands, in the way Jack looks toward the horizon as if searching for answers that never come. The ranch has seen loss before, but never like this. Heartland has always been about finding light in dark places, but sometimes you have to face the dark to see what the light is really worth. As the story moves forward, the memories of what's been lost blend with the promise of what's still possible. The family stands together, scarred but standing, because that's what Heartland has always been about. Holding on, even when everything feels like it's slipping away. And now, as episode 5 draws closer, every moment from the past 4 episodes starts to make sense. Every decision, every heartbreak, every small victory has been leading to this point, the moment when everything changes. Something in the air has changed. The mornings at Heartland no longer feel the same. The peace that once filled the ranch now carries a quiet unease. The fences creak in the wind, the horses stir restlessly, and the sky seems heavier, as if it knows something the people below don't. Episode 5 begins with this tension, the kind that creeps in slowly. Not with thunder, but with silence. The kind that makes you stop, look around, and feel that the world is about to shift. Amy feels it first. She's in the round pen with the new horse, one that refuses to be touched, refuses to trust. The animal's fear feels familiar, like a reflection of something buried inside her. Each time she takes a step forward, the horse flinches. Each time she retreats, it follows. It's not just a battle of patience. It's a conversation of souls. Amy knows this connection. She's lived it. But this time, it feels different. There's an invisible wall between them, one that no gentle word or steady hand seems to break. The ranch has seen hundreds of horses come and go, but this one feels like a message. And Amy can't shake the feeling that it's a message meant for her. As she works, her thoughts drift to Ty. His memory still lingers in the old photos, in the laughter that sometimes echoes too softly, in the ache that never really left. She doesn't speak his name, but everything she does carries a trace of him. This new challenge stirs those memories, reopening a wound that never quite healed. There's a scene where she stands by the fence at dusk, the golden light washing over her face, her hand resting gently on the rail. The camera doesn't need dialogue. The silence says everything. Love never leaves. It just changes shape. Meanwhile, Lou faces a storm of her own. Her phone buzzes with messages, her schedule overflows with meetings, and the town seems to pull her further away from home. But something in episode 5 forces her to stop. A piece of news arrives that shakes her confidence, something personal, something she can't fix with a speech or a plan. She tries to stay composed, to keep her mayoral mask in place, but when she steps into the quiet of the barn later that night, the weight of it all comes crashing down. For once, she lets the mask slip. The tears she hides from the world finally fall, landing softly on the straw-covered floor. In that moment, we see not the leader of Hudson, but the sister, the daughter, the woman who just wants to be understood. Jack, as always, feels the change before anyone else. He's been around long enough to recognize the signs. The arguments at dinner, the unspoken worries, the way everyone walks a little faster, talks a little less. He knows the pattern. Life at Heartland always tests its family before it heals them. But this time, he's uneasy. The visitor who arrived at the end of episode 4 hasn't just brought old memories, he's stirring old wounds. There's a connection between him and the family, something hidden deep in the past, something Jack might not be ready to face. There's a scene where he sits on the porch late at night, a cup of coffee in his hand, staring into the darkness beyond the ranch lights. He doesn't say a word, but the look in his eyes says enough. He's bracing for something that could change everything. Tim, too, senses it, though his way of dealing with things is, as always, louder. He's been on edge lately, snapping at everyone, trying to drown his thoughts in work. But no amount of effort can hide the truth. When the stranger crosses his path, the fire in Tim's voice changes. It's not anger anymore. It's fear disguised as pride. The tension between them burns quietly, like dry grass waiting for a spark. And when that spark comes, it'll light up more than anyone expects. Every thread of the story pulls tighter as episode 5 unfolds. The camera lingers on small moments, Amy brushing the horse's mane with trembling hands, Lou holding a letter she can't bring herself to open, Jack closing the barn door with a sigh that carries decades of memory. Even the land seems to hold its breath. The hills, the river, the long road leading to the ranch, they all feel alive, like silent witnesses to the coming storm. Then, for a moment, everything stops. The wind fades, the music drops, and the screen goes black. A single voice echoes, soft, almost a whisper, some things you can't run from. And that's when the trailer's pulse begins to rise. Quick flashes of what's to come, Amy running through the pasture, Lou shouting in frustration, Jack confronting someone in the dark, the horse rearing up in fear. It's chaos and emotion, wrapped in mystery. By the time the music swells, the audience knows episode 5 isn't just another chapter. It's the turning point. It's where the past meets the present, where choices catch up, and where the heart of Heartland is tested once again. The final shot fades to the Heartland ranch under a stormlit sky, lightning striking in the distance. A lone figure standing by the fence, watching, waiting. The screen goes dark, and all that remains are the words, "Coming soon, Heartland Season 19. Episode 5. The true beauty of Heartland has never been in its calm moments, but in the storms that its people survive together. Episode 5 is not just a new story. It's the point where every choice made so far begins to echo louder than ever. Each character stands on the edge of something they can't quite see, something that feels bigger than the ranch, bigger than themselves. The silence between them speaks louder than their words, and for the first time in a long while, the bonds that held them so tightly begin to tremble. Amy's quiet strength has always been her greatest gift. She doesn't fight with anger or pride. She fights with understanding, with the kind of patience that turns pain into healing. But this time, her heart is torn into directions. The new horse she's been working with mirrors her struggle too clearly. It's wild, scared, and unwilling to trust. The connection between them has grown beyond training. It's personal now. When Amy reaches out, she isn't just trying to calm the horse, she's trying to calm her own storm. And as she whispers softly in the fading light, you can feel that this moment isn't just about the animal. It's about forgiveness, the kind she owes herself. Jack, steady as the land he's built his life on, stands quietly in the background, watching everyone like the guardian he's always been. But there's something heavier in his eyes now, a memory that refuses to stay buried. He's seen the visitor before, long ago, when the world felt different. And that recognition shakes him. There's a scene where Jack finally speaks the truth he's been holding back, his voice breaking just slightly. It's a confession that bridges generations, one that might change how Amy and Lou see everything, including him. Jack has always been the rock, the foundation, but even rocks can crack when time presses hard enough. Lou's story takes a turn that feels both painful and freeing. For years, she's tried to carry everything, her family, her work, her responsibilities, all while keeping herself together. But episode 5 gives her something rare, the chance to let go. A moment where she doesn't need to be the mayor, or the older sister, or the perfect example. She just needs to be Lou, and when that happens, the walls she's built begin to fall. She finally allows herself to cry, not out of weakness, but out of release. It's one of those rare Heartland moments that remind us why this show still matters after all these years, because it dares to show real human emotion without pretending it's easy. Tim, restless as always, finds himself standing at a crossroads. His anger has always been loud, but in episode 5, it quiets down just enough to reveal what's beneath it: regret. He's been running from a truth that the visitor brings back to his doorstep, something that connects his past to Amy's future. The moment he realizes what it means is raw and powerful. His tough exterior slips, his words stumble, and for a second, we see him not as the proud rancher or stubborn father, but as a man who's afraid of losing what little time he has left to make things right. Even the younger ones feel the shift. Katie, watching all of this unfold, begins to see the world of Heartland not through innocence, but through understanding. She sees her family not as unshakable heroes, but as people trying their best to hold on. Her small, quiet moments, a glance, a hug, a smile through tears, become the emotional heartbeat of the episode. Through her eyes, we remember what makes Heartland special, the idea that no matter how broken things get, love always finds a way to mend. As the trailer builds toward its final moments, the music rises, a soft piano turning into a steady drumbeat, echoing the rhythm of hooves against the earth. Quick flashes fill the screen. Amy riding through the open field, Lou standing in the rain, Jack's hand gripping the fence, Tim's truck speeding down the long gravel road. Every image feels like a pulse, a heartbeat. The story is alive, breathing, waiting to be told. Then, it slows. The camera lingers on the ranch at dusk, the sky burning orange and purple, the barn lights glowing softly in the distance. For a moment, it feels peaceful again, as if the storm has passed. But the calm doesn't last long. A shadow moves in the background, the visitor's figure near the stables. Amy turns, sensing it, her expression caught between recognition and disbelief. The screen fades to black before we can see what happens next.